Now to a cultural phenomenon we first read about in Time magazine. Fueled by nostalgia and technology, it seems more and more people are using social networking sites like Facebook to look up and then hook up with love interests from their past. As you can imagine, these romantic reconnections have varying degrees of success. So we asked our special correspondent, Cameron Matheson, to investigate.
Yes, Robin, reviving old love affairs, tracking down long-lost crushes on sites like Facebook really is a growing trend. So we tried to find out what's behind it by tracking down some folks who did it. A successful Chicago-based advertising executive in her mid-30s, Elise Garber had been unlucky in love, never quite meeting Mr. Right.
I always had kind of longer-term relationships, several boyfriends, but none of them, obviously were the right ones.
Until one day in May 2008, still single and on a dare from a friend, she sent a note over Facebook to the first boy she ever kissed, Harlan Robbins.
I never expected anything to happen, and I typed in Harlan's name, and then his profile came up, and I was kind of stunned.
They'd met in the summer of 1987 on a 5-week camping trip out west.
We pretty much spent 5 weeks making out in the back of the van, so I'm not sure.
It was just kind of like first kiss summer fling, I guess. I never really thought of it turning into anything way more serious.
21 years later, Elise and Harlan were reunited, first online and then face-to-face. And romance unexpectedly bloomed again. The internet had reconnected them, making them part of a new wave of singles finding romance in their past. They are called retrosexuals, a recently coined term which describes people who reach back into their own lives to reconnect with lost loves and possibly start the romantic relationship again.
The lost love is somebody that you always wondered what happened to them and what could have been and what should have been. These are relationships that were interrupted.
As Facebook continues to soar in popularity, with adults over 25 quickly outpacing younger members, it seems virtually everyone online has searched for a lost love at least once. Have you ever used Facebook to reach out to a past romance?
Oh, specifically a past romance. I actually, yes. I searched somebody out.
People are naturally curious about what their exes are doing, so Facebook's a great tool to, we call them Facebook stalk, the people in your past.
It's like you know about them, but you don't know, you're not supposed to know about them.
Why did you go looking in the first place?
I needed one of those fixes. It's been a long, long time.
Okay. Dr. Nancy Kalish, a psychologist who studies lost love, says teenage hormones are stored as sensory and emotional memories.
It doesn't mean that we have to be with that person, but what it does mean is that in the adolescent years there are these hormones, sexual and growth hormones and everything else. And you encode the person in a sensory way.
These memories are so strong they can even be detrimental to people who are already married and rediscover a former romance.
The person is on Facebook, gets a little note, "Hi, how are you? Is that you?" And you write back innocently, and before you know it, they're reminiscing and all those feelings are coming back.
But for folks like Elise and Harlan, the reunion was a match meant to be. They were married just 2 weeks ago.
You don't believe in fate and all that? Destiny?
I never did, but really, this has been, this has been kind of strange.
Elise and Harlan happily married, like I said, now living in Seattle. There are some good stories from this. Experts say that the main reason that people are doing this retro-sexing are because of the comfort and the security that comes with it. Reconnecting with an old flame is very safe, and it has the added benefit of making you feel young again. So there's that.
A lot of upside, but there have to be some drawbacks.
There are some drawbacks, and Dr. Kalish talked about it a little bit in the piece, but old loves can be imprinted on your brain in a similar way as addictions, so that when you reconnect, these very strong feelings can come up and can kind of be overpowering, can be a little bit destructive. There are some serious drawbacks, also some less dramatic ones, like on Facebook, the shared friends group. When you reconnect, everybody's going to know about it. You're putting it out there. Could stir up some things with some mutual friends. In fact, there's so many drawbacks that the person who coined the phrase retrosexual also coined regretrosexual. So
the same person.
Yeah, the same person. So
you
there's some positives and some negatives out there.
Tomato, tomato.
Tomato, tomato.
Thank you, Cameron.
All
Thanks
right.
so much. And we'd love to hear what you have to say about this and weigh in on our shout-out board at abcnews.com. Let's hear from you.